If you've ever been told to heal your inner child and wondered if you had to time travel to your childhood to fix your traumas, then you've clicked on the right video.
You can heal your inner child as an adult, and yes, it is a deep healing process, maybe even one that you may not be prepared for, and you might even be shocked at what comes up for you. But trust the process and know that healing the inner child can be transformative.
A lot of people avoid this type of healing because it requires you to dig deep and look at old wounds. It's common for us to think that healing is about focusing on the present and the future, but the reality is that we need to heal the past so that we can move forward with grace.
Stay tuned to the end of this video where we will share 4 personal techniques that we have used to help heal the inner child within us.
Welcome to Rico Living. I'm Saga.
And I'm Manpreet. Let's get into it.
First up, what is the inner child? Think about a baby or a young child that you may know. What are their typical characteristics? Naturally curious, asking lots of crazy questions like, why is the sky blue? Or where do babies come from? Playful, to the point where you run out of energy trying to find new games to play with them. Innocent, like believing that Santa Claus is real or that the Tooth Fairy will visit them. Imaginative, making up games or characters and having imaginary friends, and believing scenarios like the floor is lava. Love, kids always have a pure loving energy which is infectious to those around them. Usually they'll make you smile or laugh when they are in a good mood.
We all have these characteristics deep within us. Some of us can reconnect to these childlike qualities easier than others. If we really think about it, we were all like this once upon a time and still can portray this innocence, carefree and pure love vibration in adulthood. The other aspect of inner child work is recognizing our behaviors, reactions and relationships into adulthood are influenced by the sort of childhood we had, whether it's good or bad. It's known from birth to around 7 years of age, children are sponges and super sensitive to everything that surrounds them. And whilst we may not remember every experience, it is there playing out in our subconscious.
So, how does the inner child get wounded? What if you're sitting here thinking, this doesn't apply to me because I've had the best childhood ever? Or let's give you an example of how a small experience can create an insecurity within us. Imagine yourself as a child walking into a room, having completed the best drawing that you've ever done and super excited to show your mum or dad. Now they're a little preoccupied, either on the phone or washing the dishes, and in frustration they respond, "Can't you see I'm busy right now?" You walk away feeling disheartened and like you're not important.
You see, in that moment, the parent may be genuinely busy and you caught them at the wrong time. But as a child not knowing how to manage your emotions, you internalize this feeling and potentially carry it with you into adulthood, leading to feelings like, nobody listens to me or people don't care about me. Now, on the spectrum of emotional wounds, this is perhaps on the lower end, but what about other inner child wounds such as
invalidation? Being constantly criticized or dismissed can harm the inner child's sense of self-worth or confidence.
Rejection. Experiencing rejection, abandonment, or feeling unloved can leave lasting scars on the inner child.
Unmet needs, whether that's emotional or physical needs, such as affection, love, and attention. This can lead to the inner child feeling neglected and hurt.
Comparison. Constantly being compared to others or feeling inadequate against siblings or others can lead to feeling inferior or not good enough. I'm sure many of us have heard things like, why can't you be as good as your brother? Or your cousin got straight A's, what about you?
Loss. The death of a parent or absence through divorce or separation can lead to confusion and a lack of security.
Abuse. Whether that's physical, psychological, or emotional abuse, this can deeply cause the inner child to feel unsafe and scared. This can stem from experiencing it firsthand or witnessing abuse of others as a child. I think we can all agree that at some point in our childhood, we have all experienced something along these lines. We want to reassure you that you are not alone in these experiences, and the fact that you are watching this video shows that you have the awareness of wanting to heal.
So, why is it important to heal these inner child wounds? As we know, energy must flow. Stagnant and unhealed energy can manifest itself into physical disease as well as emotional imbalance. We cannot assume that these inner child wounds will go away themselves, nor can we brush them under the carpet as something that was insignificant. Inner child wounds can manifest in different ways and show up as particular patterns if not resolved. Examples of this can be
attracting a certain type of relationship to fill a void. For example, if you were never validated as a child, you may seek a partner who has to constantly validate you instead of learning how to validate yourself. If you were sexually abused as a child, you may struggle to find intimacy in your relationships due to overpowering feelings of unsafety and fear. You may struggle to speak up in confrontation if you were told that your opinions do not matter or were often dismissed. You may lack confidence in pursuing your goals if you were not encouraged as a child. Here you can see how our inner child wounds can reflect in adulthood, and it's important to heal these wounds so we can become the fullest and truest versions of ourselves.
Another aspect is putting a stop to generational trauma. It's quite common for generational trauma to be passed on from great-grandparents, grandparents, parents, and then us. If you look at what the exact trauma is, it's usually very similar. For example, you might find that anger and bitterness has been a common theme across generations. If we do not heal our inner child wounds and decide to have children, it will become their inner child wounds. You may choose to be the one who puts an end to the lack of compassion and empathy and decide to raise the next generation with love, care, and understanding. There's a quote that I absolutely love which goes, "Trauma travels down through families until someone says this ends here. When you heal yourself, you heal your lineage."
To really heal our inner child wounds, there is an aspect of acceptance that needs to happen. This is not the same as forgiveness, but accepting our childhood for what it is can prevent it from bleeding into our adult life. Here comes the techniques we promised you at the beginning of the video. Before we dive deep, it's important to do your own personal research and find methods which align with you the best. However, in this video, we're going to share the techniques we have personally used and have worked for us.
Number 1. Hypnotherapy. If you've never done hypnotherapy before, it really is a form of therapy where you go into a state of trance, not that kind of EDM trance. It is a heightened state which allows you to give suggestions to your subconscious mind, which helps you to reprogram limiting beliefs, feelings, and behaviors. You really are going to the root cause of your wounds and changing the narrative.
I went to see a hypnotherapist as my first type of healing. It was a specific type called RTT, which stands for Rapid Transformational Therapy. I initially went in to treat migraines, as I had pretty much tried all types of Western medicine, but I had an intuitive understanding that my migraines were not from birth, so there had to be a trapped emotion somewhere within me, which was manifesting as this pain. As part of the RTT session, the hypnotherapist took me back to the moment in time where my migraines started, and I spoke of a time where my mum had said something hurtful to me. I had no memory of this event in my normal day-to-day life, but could clearly visualize this scene and released a lot of deep emotion. Following the session, I went from having migraines weekly to massively reducing them, which was a huge transformation for me and provided deep inner child healing. I had gone into my subconscious mind and reprogrammed how I viewed that event and let go of pain I did not know was inside of me.
Inner child meditations. This is a technique that I use with my clients on a regular basis. After taking a few deep breaths, I ask them to visualize themselves walking in a field and approaching a bench. On the bench, their child self is sitting there. I ask them to sit next to their child self and firstly become aware of how that child is feeling. For example, are they feeling excited, hurt, scared, nervous? And then from there, I ask them to have a conversation with their inner child and tell them things that they wanted to hear when they were growing up. For example, you are loved, you are cared for, you are protected, your opinion matters, and anything else that you felt you needed. From there, I guide them to visualize, taking their inner child to see their adult life now and how much you've accomplished, like the house you live in, where you work, and your healthy relationships. This reassures your inner child that life is going to end up being okay despite how you were raised as a child. To end the meditation, you visualize hugging your inner child and asking them to let go of any pain, and finally repeat this powerful statement: I am your own loving parent and your own best friend. If you would like to give this meditation a go, please see a link to a similar one we have recorded in the description below. Next, we have creative expression.
Creative expression. This one is really fun. Think back to your childhood and ask yourself what you really enjoyed doing, whether that's something musical, painting, sports, or dancing. Remember, nothing is a coincidence. There is a reason why you enjoyed this as a child.
Unfortunately, as we grow older, these tend to be put on the back burner due to responsibilities and just general adulting. But believe it or not, by reconnecting with these activities, you connect with your inner child again and lift your vibration to one of love, joy, and play. As an adult, we're often so serious about everything. As the Joker would say, why so serious? So let go a little and try to have some fun. And lastly, cord cutting. There is a spiritual belief that we enter Earth with soul contracts, including certain members of our family and friends which agree to play a specific role in our lives. The purpose of this is to encourage spiritual evolution and growth. Whilst it is difficult to see it that way, there may be certain relationships that you have which are heavy, draining, and sometimes toxic. It's important to know that we carry an energetic attachment to these relationships, and it may come to a point where it's not serving you any longer.
And this is where cord cutting comes in. This is a practice aimed at cutting energetic ties between individuals as well as the karmic bonds that travel through lifetimes. This process involves visualizing the individual in front of you and seeing a beam of light connected between the two of you. You then set the intention: I release all cords and attachments that no longer serve my highest good. I trust in the process of letting go and welcome healing and transformation into my life.
And then literally see that beam of light being cut and the energy dissipating. Whilst you still may see this person in your life, you no longer have an energetic connection to them. It's coming to an understanding that this person has played their role in your life and now it's time to move on.
So there you have it, 4 techniques to help you heal inner child wounds. If you're interested in any of these techniques, we would love to help you more. We offer an entire inner child healing package, which you can find out more on our website. Check out our website for a free consultation. The link is in the description below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more spiritual content like this.